Is that it? Is that what you want? That's what you want, that's what you get. Hi, everybody. Hi. We have a, look at, we got a furry here. For our live stream audience only.
Is it, can you, what is a furry? Isn't it like you identify as like an animal?
Todd, what did you just ask me?
I asked you what a furry is. What is it?
A furry, it's sexually?
No, but isn't it like a thing like where you can identify as like a cat or something?
Yeah.
That people are supposed to respect that?
I think there's a couple different layers to it. I think a furry is something where you identify as an animal.
Why furry though? What if you were scaly?
You could.
Gee,
That's what I'm saying. There could be different things. It could be scaly, fluffy,
I'm a scaly?
furry, slippery. I'm a slippy. That's where you identify as a newt, and you cover yourself in slime.
Very nudish.
Hi, this is the Monday M.A.S.S. I'm Chris Coté.
Hi, I'm Todd Richards, and I have a new mic stand, so suck on that.
Wow,
Everyone.
Todd's really growing up. That was a gift. That was actually a gift from me.
People don't tune in for adult conversation here, Chris.
They don't. They tune in for mic stand news.
Next up in mic stand news, look at it.
Brain.
Check out my mic.
Hey, check out my mic. Don't touch me mustache.
Does it sound good? Do we touch your mustache?
Dude, it sounds pretty good.
Sounds good? Okay.
Yeah. You sound dope, dude.
Sick.
Hey, why don't you show the people these?
Oh, guess what, everybody? We got some new stickers from our
coffee.
friends at diecutstickers.com. These are kind of like flashy stickers. They're printed.
They're fluffy.
It's on matte. It's kind of like matte black with a flash pass of I don't know what we should call that, like
Art.
a metallic. But these are cool.
It's art.
We also have the big stickers, but these are a little more.
Classic.
These are more digestible.
Well, some people are bigger fans than others.
I think these will look great on your snowboard, surfboard, skateboard, mountain bike, one wheel, the other
Pedal electric
the
bike.
other pedal electric, and the other weird wheel one that you go straight on.
The unit bike.
Have you seen those around town?
Yeah.
There's
We
like
talked about this IT thing, remember?
Oh yeah.
Wait,
You know, it's all-
now I decorated the set.
Listen to the Monday M.A.S.S. Hey, so guess what, everyone? We didn't have a show last week because Chris was
Right.
super busy up in the litter box of Huntington Beach once again.
Bender time.
He's been on a work bender, but we're back and we have a lot to talk about. We have crazy news, some ups, some downs. We got all kinds of fun stuff in store for you today. So glad to have you with us.
We're glad to be back. You know, sometimes when we take a week off, it feels like we've taken a year off. And that's what that last week felt like. But we are here and we want to tell you just a few things here on September 26th, 2022. This Action Sports Podcast About Nothing is brought to you by Pedal Electric at pedal.electric. Saw the Pedal Electric homies at the Solento Surf Festival. They had a bunch of bikes out there, people riding around. Reaffirmed my belief that these are the best e-bikes on the planet. I did give out the code twice over the weekend. Do have a secret code for our most valued listeners. DM me or Todd or at Monday M.A.S.S. Monday.
If you're serious.
But yeah,
Serious inquiries only.
don't be flirting around with the idea. Just buy the bike. Bachans.
Bachans, Japanese barbecue sauce at Try Bachans on Instagram. And we are going to have a fun board giveaway with Bachans here
Fun board.
In the next couple weeks.
What kind of board?
It's a custom chemistry surfboard with Bachans logos.
And Bachans sauce.
And we're going to sauce you up.
Did
There's
you really
actually
paint the board with Bachans sauce?
There is sauce in the board.
Right.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
That's like when Lil Nas X put his blood in his shoes.
Little sauce. X.
Yeah. Herschel Supply Co. at Herschel Supply used multiple variations of my Herschel Supply Co. gear. My chocolate X Herschel Ripstop backpack came in very handy. My daily driver backpack as well. Shifting back and forth, going from place to place. Herschel Supply Co. at Herschel Supply, the best. And of course,
Bomb-proof bags.
Beneath Apparel. I've been seeing more and more online about Beneath Apparel. People just, again, talking about wearing the world's most comfortable underwear. I know, I mean, can you think of life without Beneath? Now that you are in Beneath, can you think of life without it? What would life be like without Beneath Apparel?
Not as supportive and comfortable.
Not as comfortable, that's for sure. Yeah.
NanocraftCBD at NanocraftCBD for all of your CBD cures and tinctures and rubs and gel caps
The
and
best CBD out.
whatever.
Yeah.
Just take it and be happy. That's all I can say about that.
Fully agree. Bubs Naturals, this is something I put in my coffee every single morning. My kids are on it, my wife, my mother. Most people that I love get Bubs from me because I love them and I want their bones to be strong, I want their skin to be as good as it could possibly be, I want their hair to grow faster, I want all these things for these loved ones. That's why I give them Bubs at Bubs Naturals. Hansen Surfboards too.
Yeah, Hansen Surfboards. Guess what? I went in there the other day. Snowboard
No,
time.
come on.
Snowboard time of year. It may
Stop.
be still hot here at the beach, but my goodness gracious, they've got all the latest from Burton, Fry, Quicksilver, DC.
Keep
I
going.
could be lying. But they definitely have the other brands that I mentioned. And I saw them, and they have like all the. This is when you go in there and you get. This is like the pick. You can go in there and get the good stuff because the closer we get to the season popping off, the less selection you get. So head on into Hansen Surfboards or go to hansensurfboards.com and you can get all this wonderful stuff there too. Plus a 10% discount when you enter Monday M.A.S.S at checkout.
On the internet, uonline.com and Olas Media. We are partnered up with two of the most powerful media companies in all of San Diego, Olas Media and uOnline. You can find our show on both platforms. Thank you so much. Chris Cantori does have new shows coming out, among other podcasts that he's helped produce and promote. You can go to Olas Media on the internet and check out all the amazing shows they have. There's true crime, cannabis, BDSM, and any interest
I think
you
I'm
have.
going to do a show. It's just going to be about new nerdy stuff that's coming out.
I love it. You should do a cannabis BDSM show.
And also the search
together.
for Bigfoot.
Love it.
New Greens. Guess
Yeah.
what, Chris?
What?
You already use New Greens to
I
keep
do. That's
yourself
true.
healthy because
Yes.
God knows who has the time to consume things that are good for him these
Yeah.
days. But
Yeah.
also a new product to help you sleep called Dream Time.
Okay.
Dream Time will help you get into your REM sleep. You know what that means? It's
Rapid
not-
eye movement.
Yes, not just a band from where are they from? North Carolina.
Athens, Georgia.
Whatever. Who gives a shit? No one even likes REM anymore.
No, people
But-
still like
No.
REM. What's the frequency, Kenneth?
No.
Orange Crush.
Okay, that was good. But that was
Losing
like
My
that was
Religion.
old REM. That was like 80s REM. No one likes the new REM.
Wait, what do you mean? What is the new REM?
I thought they were from Chapel Hill. Oh wait, no, that's Super Channel.
They're
Anyways,
from Georgia. So
Dream Time
Okay,
is the new
maybe
product
that
from
is.
New Greens, and you can go to @NewGreens on Instagram and learn all about it. Did we cover
It's also
everyone?
not a very good cult album.
Pannikin Coffee and Tea.
Yeah,
I forgot to mention that.
I didn't
Do you
forget.
have
We're
my-
still in
do you have
the
my
album.
card?
Yeah, let me get it now.
See, one of the perks of being sponsored by Pannikin Coffee and Tea is you get a free card that gets you free food at Pannikin Coffee and Tea. They pay us in pastries, which I'm completely fine with. But Chris hoards the cards, so any moment, he'd just be walking around with a mass amount of
It's
credit.
been in my pocket for like a month. It says your name on
There
it.
it is. Anyways, we're gonna have a show for you right now. We're gonna start things off with
That was
surf
it?
news.
No, that was the show.
Brought to us by Bachan's Japanese barbecue sauce. Chris,
Yeah, we're gonna start with some bummer news. Unfortunately,
can we get we have bummer news in snowboarding too. Can we get the bummer news out of the way
Yes,
on both fronts?
sure.
Because I want to have a more positive back end of the show.
Okay, that's fine. Well, I mean, it's positive in ways because we get to celebrate and talk about the memory of some really incredible people. We had some major blows to the surf world recently. Kalani David, 24 years old. I think it's safe to say the best surf skate crossover athlete ever.
I think the only one to do it and to compete at that level and do make podium in
Yeah.
both sports.
If you can finish on the podium at Stab High and also finish on the podium at like a Vans
Tour,
Park Series, Tour. Kalani David won multiple ISA medals. I mean, he was a superstar from a very young age. He had a rough existence due to health issues that just kept hammering on him. And he was down on a surf trip in Costa Rica, he had a seizure, passed away in the water.
You know, I mean, if there's never like a silver lining, but I mean, I would want to go doing what I loved, and I talked to some friends of mine that knew Kalani really well over the past week, and you know, I didn't realize how on borrowed time he was living. Like he basically died at the skate park in Oceanside at one point, not very long ago.
Yeah.
His heart stopped, so it's like for him to have been able to like, you know, keep going after that, and you know, it's really sad, but like you said, he did pass away doing what he loved doing, and I think that's the best any of us could ever hope for.
Yeah, and I think that, you know, these days at least, when somebody who is that good at what they do, you know, there's a record that you can go back on and enjoy and watch him do amazing things on surfboards and skateboards. And he was just a really good soul, really nice kid. And it's sad. I mean, it's crazy when I heard he was 24. I thought he had done so much and lived so much that he had to be 35, 30, you know, but 24 years old, I mean, that shows you how talented this kid was at a very young age. Also, just got the news, Chris Davidson, Davo, kind of your prototypical hardcore Australian, just fierce, radical, old school style surfer. You know, he kind of waved that flag for the, you know, that Australian crew, Matt Hoy, and you know, the tattoo, just badass dude, wild, super wild. I was lucky enough in my days at Transworld that I got to go to Australia a bunch of times, and of course at that time I was partying my ass off too, so I went straight to Dave. Like, that's who I want to hang out with. So I had some incredible times, you know, and of course looking back, like, yes, we did glamorize that party lifestyle in the surf media. I mean, that's been happening since the 70s, but, you know, Davo, on top of all the amazing things he did in surfing, you know, beat Kelly Slater multiple times, was just always that, just hardcore. I mean, hardcore surfer. Did have troubles in the after surfing, as a lot of professional athletes do, but you know, either way, he's remembered as this larger than life personality, an amazing surfer. He got in a fight, an altercation in front of a bar, and got hit in the face, fell down, hit his head, died. Which is just, I mean, I know when people get drunk and they get in fights and they let rage kind of like cloud over them, just know, I mean, this happens a lot in Australia, it happens here. I mean, don't fight at a bar. Unless you're defending yourself, it's like, you're gonna punch someone in the head, potentially kill them. I mean, this can happen with a normal fist fight in front of a bar, at any time. The wrong fall, the wrong situation, there's gotta be a better way to work whatever bullshit is going on. But yeah, it's really sad, and you know, he is remembered for all the great things that he did on his surfboard, and he's remembered for being one of surfing's ultimate characters. It's sad that he's gone. He was 44, I believe.
And on the snowboard side of things, we lost a legend of snowboarding, Adam Merriman, last week to a tragic accident. You know, and it's his stamp on snowboarding, from tweaking out airs to just being the instigator behind having wider snowboards for people with bigger feet. This K2 Fat Bob was his brainchild, and you know, he's just one of those guys. I grew up riding with Adam in Vail, pretty much held that whole scene down. There's a lot of people that are really hurting right now in Colorado. He's having a memorial remembrance of life this Friday evening at the Vail Ski and Snowboard Museum. So super sad. Thoughts go out to Adam's family and all of his friends, and it's just it comes in threes, dude. It's really weird how we talk about that, but I'm not gonna let this be the super downer for our show. So, anyways, this show is dedicated to the remembrance of those characters of our sports right there, and yeah, let's go into surf news. You just got back from, like I said, 2 weeks of straight up. We didn't have a show last week because you were up in Huntington Beach doing ISA surfing championships. all kinds of crazy stuff going on down there. Then you came down here to this, so is it Solento? Solento Surf Festival. You got to commentate the Legends Heat yesterday with Rob Machado and Kelly Slater and Taylor Steele.
I got to commentate everything.
The Momentum reunion. Okay, so let's start.
Okay, so
At the beginning.
top. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm just going to give you the brief rundown. The ISA World Surfing Games is, I would say, one of the most interesting surf events to be a part of. The first few days, so you have 51 nations competing in this year's event.
Mm-hmm.
You have 2 Olympic slots already on the table. So this is the first Olympic qualifier for surfing. So basically, when the event started, there's 8 different ways to qualify for the Olympics, WSL and all that. So for the ISA, the highest ranked men's team and the highest ranked women's team got a guaranteed spot in the Olympics for their nation.
Okay.
So that was obviously a huge topic. Then you have overall medals, individual medals. Olympic season is here. So everyone's saying the over and over and over and over.
So, okay, so you had like all these heavies like Kanoe Igarashi, obviously, you know, Kolohe, you had all these people competing. Once again, now coming from, you commentated the US Open.
Yep.
When contrast that to doing the ISA World Championships, like
So
what's
US
the
Open,
vibe like?
US Open is straight up individual elite level surf contest. You only worry about yourself. In the ISA, it's a team event. So each team, or most teams, have 3 guys and 3 girls.
And you're looking for spots.
And you're looking to get as many of your surfers as deep in the contest as possible. So the first couple of days of this event is truly a joyful experience. Everyone's competing, of course, but it's double elimination, so there's, people have opportunities to keep going in the event. But the first few days you have, for example, Team Ukraine, Team Senegal, Team Brazil, and Team USA all in one heat. So it's like Chloe Andino, Jadson Andre, Ukrainian 14-year-old surfer, 6'4" Sharif Fall. So you get these incredible groupings of surfers every single heat, and every surfer has, we know all the big names coming through, but beyond that, every surfer comes through with a crazy story, an incredible, tale of how they got there. And then you have like a lot of surfers that live and surf in Costa Rica, but they're representing Germany or Belgium, and so
What
tons
was
of stories.
What was like the
going
biggest
through.
surprise for you?
Biggest surprise for me was Team China. Team China had all teenagers. I think their oldest surfer was 15, but these little kids that I remember even just like 6 months ago when the ISA Juniors was in El Salvador, they were good. They've already progressed
Now,
at an incredible rate.
do we still have the same surf coach over there?
New surf coach. He was previously the coach of Team Japan.
But they have a
my
wave.
brain is
China's got a wave pool
glitching.
now that they're training them in.
Well, Hainan, where Ryu Bay is, they have had a bunch of contests there, longboard events. It's like a left point, super rippable, fun wave. So they train there a lot, and then of course they go all around and train. But that was super rad. Just names of surfers that you've never heard before that go out there and just rip, and the joy and it's like, I'm not usually a big fan of like flag waving, and like national pride or whatever, but it feels like at these ISA events, it's friendly national pride. It's not like, oh, we're gonna beat you. Like you have surfers from Australia and like Jackson Baker, for example. He was actually giving tips to a surfer from Belgium in his heat. He's like, hey mate, like sit over here, do this. So there's things like that that make it different than a surf event.
This is the official kickoff of the
yeah,
Olympic charge
that's
into.
true.
So I mean, look, the best of the best are going to qualify for the Olympic team. There's only 12 spots, 10 spots. There's not that many.
20.
20?
20 men, 20 women.
Okay.
Something like that.
Well, I guess that's a lot. But it's like You
Could be
figure
wrong.
you figure that they're going to be names that we've pretty much heard of before because
You have 8. So you have 10 of the top WSL finishers, men, and 8 women. So you can fill in that list right there. That's going to be the usual suspects:
Yeah.
Gabriel, Felipe.
Sure. Yeah.
So the rule that or the ISA team slot, Team USA for the men especially, kind of kicked off this rumor mill, this kind of projection that this is like the Kelly Slater rule. That this is the way for Kelly Slater to qualify for the Olympics. Surf at Tiahupo. And I changed my pronunciation.
You know, I think everyone has. It's really weird.
I'm just going Tiahupo from now on. Tiahupo. I heard Mickey Montebre say it a bunch of times on the beach. Bahini said it a couple times, and I'm just like, all right, I'm going to get as close to that as possible. Tiahupo. So if Team USA, for example, would have won, it wouldn't guarantee to go to Slater, but you would think, okay, maybe like John will be up there, and Griff, or Seth Moniz, you know, one of the Kolohe, one of those top 10 surfers, those two guys will get that spot. The third place, if Slater wasn't in the top 10, would have to go to Kelly, right? In theory.
Yeah.
In theory.
But so that's
they didn't win.
They didn't win.
They did not.
But Kanoe Igarashi won for the men.
Team Japan won the men's slot, so Team Japan guaranteed at least one slot in the Olympics for men. Team USA won for women, and so Kanoe won the individual medal for men, the gold. Kira Pinkerton, San Clemente, California, won the gold medal for women, and therefore Team USA women will have an extra slot, which is, you kind of think of that one, and you're like, all right, well, Carissa Moore for sure, Caroline Marks. And then you can kind of start to get creative, right? Katie Simmers, Lakey Peterson. There's a lot of good names underneath the, Sage Erickson. The list goes on and on of who could potentially get those slots. But we'll see what happens. 2024.
Olympics again.
I know, but we don't have to use that word provisionally anymore, I don't think.
Why?
I don't know.
Okay, well, let's
Provisionally.
But anyways, it's coming up.
So it was a, from a work standpoint, ISA events are notoriously grindy and long. Luckily, there was at least rideable waves for the whole time. A couple really good days, a couple sus-as days. But unlike a WSL event that is 10 days long, with only 4 working days, this is 8 days long with straight through, no matter what.
So then you came from that.
So I wrapped up there. I celebrated my birthday in the booth.
I heard. How'd that go?
46, go to work.
You get a cake or anything?
46,
46.
I didn't like
take
tell
a shit in a porta potty on the beach.
I reposted some people's messages. Thank you for saying those. That was very nice. But it was kind of like, I'm not a super birthday guy.
You're
I
not?
just want a nice dinner and friends to call me, just tell me how great I am. That's all I asked for. Nobody did it.
I get it.
So I did treat myself a little bit. I went and saw this band Kokubuyu Moyo. And
I beg your pardon?
yeah, I want to play them for you.
Chihoku.
Kikagaku Moyu.
Where are they from? Japan?
Yes, they're legendary. Japan. Oh, you're not gonna go here.
Never mind. We're not hearing this. It's a band that Chris
Really
went to see
good.
treated himself. So then you came back from that,
myself.
and you went to the Solento Surf Fest.
Yeah.
And that was multiple days of premieres at the legendary La Paloma here in Encinitas, culminating in there was a regional surf, sort of like surfing rock, kind of like just
It's like the Matson 2 meets some kind of jam band with a Japanese kind of flair. Guy was playing a sitar, electric sitar. So it's like this for 20 minutes.
an hour.
Yeah. Trippy ass.
That's some stoner ass music, dude.
I know. They did.
Is this all one song?
No. Anyway, so it was their last tour
It's
ever.
like
I went by
Fish in
myself. It was sick. I had a great time.
Anyway.
That was Friday night. Saturday was the finals.
And then straight home
Sunday.
into the. So did you have to go straight to La Paloma and intro people on stage?
No.
And what happened?
Unfortunately, I missed all of the La Paloma portion of the Solento Surf Festival. They had a Momentum reunion where they cut up a bunch of clips, and Slater and everybody was there talking about the clips. They had a bunch of movie premieres, live music, conversations. So it's pretty incredible what Taylor Steele and Cilantro, the team at Solento Tequila, pulled off.
Mm-hmm.
3 full sold out nights of not just films, but like re-edits and conversations and interviews and just and cool shit.
It seemed really cool.
And world premiere movies.
And then culminating in the
Sunday.
So what? Okay, so was there actually a regional competition going on there as well, or was it like
no?
It was basically.
So what it was they called it the Countdown Cup, and then there was Fire vs. Water, Party Wave.
Oh, yeah.
So it was basically like this different format through the day. So the main event, they had a big like beer garden, beach bar, a stage, live music.
Yeah.
Our friend Rick's band, the Aqua Dolls played. Emily Afton DJ'd, Abby Normal, Wild Lotus. So they had a bunch of music, and it was just a really cool, kind of like chill setup in the parking lot. Seaside Reef, they had the whole place rented out for the event. Rented out, permit, whatever the hell. The Countdown Cup was pretty sick. So, started with 50 male surfers, 25 female surfers. So out of the 50 males, the first 2 heats were 25-man heats.
What?
25 people in the water at a time. You only catch 1 wave.
25 men in the water.
25 at a time. You only catch 1 wave, and so people would stand up and fall, and people would ride them all the way in. And so they took from that first 50, 16, and everybody in the first round had to ride a quad.
Okay.
Everybody rides a quad. Machado was even in it. He failed to pass because the 1 wave he caught, he waited 28 minutes in a 30-minute heat and caught like a dud and lost. So he was so yeah, men and women, they started on the quad. Second round was a thruster round, so cut in half again. From there, then it went twin fin round.
Okay.
That was.
I like this stuff.
6. So it went from 50 to 16 to 8, and then the finals was 4 each on single fins. For the women, we had Leah Dawson, Ella McCaffrey, Candelaria Rosano, going Sarah, and for the Sarah McFarland, hopefully that's her first name. Like I said, a little scrambled. For dudes, Cole McCaffrey, Taylor Clark, Kobe Hughes, and Tim Curran.
I heard.
Timmy Curran came out and
won it,
was
right?
ripping. Timmy Curran surfs as good, the same as he was ripping.
He took it home.
Took the whole enchilada out.
That's awesome. Kobo,
There was a cool heat. So I basically was there by myself doing all the beach announcing, but I got to wrangle people in like Kelly Slater. Taylor Steele was there. Rose Machado was commentating.
So
Todd Glazer.
You've got Kelly Slater.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of people didn't really know, and you told me something really cool before we started the show about what had happened during.
Oh yeah.
But so you've got the goat of goats.
Yes.
Here.
We've got the goat of goats
at the local spot competing in the water.
Yeah. So midway through, I'm gonna find this message that somebody sent me about that. Midway through, we had to have a break between the semis and the finals.
Mm-hmm.
And so Taylor was like, all right. Oh, before that, so there was a big heat, lifeguards versus firefighters.
Mm-hmm.
Sick tag team thing. Lifeguards won by 2 points. Party wave, Kalani Rob and Mick Fanning. Mick Fanning was there the whole day.
I saw that too, yeah.
So at one point in the day, we're like, all right, 30-minute expression session. Slater and Rob. And then Slater, who was standing right there next to Taylor Steele and I, was like, oh, you're in it, Taylor. Chris, come on, let's go. And I was like, wow, that's really nice. That's I didn't really belong out there, but so I got to surf with Slater, Rob, Taylor Steele. Caught a couple waves, and then I lost my board, and this kid came running out, and I didn't really think about it. Like I was just going, oh, this kid will be stoked.
Right.
And so I like took my jersey off and I put it on the. I'm like, "You're in," and I just stuck the jersey over his head. He's
Right.
like, "Whoa," and I gave him the board. I'm like, "Go." I'm like,
You gave him your board.
I gave him the board I was riding. I was borrowing Album Dark Arts, and the kid was like, "Okay." I'm like, "You got Slater and Machado in this heat. Like, get him." And so he paddled out. And he was like surfing, and it was. I just thought it was cute. You know, it was like funny that
How old is the kid?
he was probably 10.
10?
No, he was probably 12.
So, mind-blowing
So
experience.
yeah, and so to me it was like, oh, you know, super rad to be able to surf those guys. But I passed my thing to the kid. I didn't think it was going to be a big deal, but the kid, understood, I guess, the weight of the situation. It was just him
Mm-hmm.
in the water in a heat with Machado and Slater. And so our friend Terry Snyder, he said it was, I don't know if it's his son or if his son's homie, but like posted all this stuff about like this kid is just so hyped. Here's the
Oh, we
kid
have a message.
almost in tears. And this actually made me cry when he sent me this video.
Thank you so much. That was so awesome. That was like the best thing that's ever happened to me. Thank you so much.
Look at that little guy. That's so rad.
So it's one of those,
Wow,
one of
that's
those
so
things,
killer.
yeah. Good right, it makes you want to cry. But
Yeah, you
that
don't
was super rad.
you
I
don't
didn't know
realize-
it was happening really, but after I was stoked to get that message.
I just think that's so cool, like, you know, to have, I mean, when I was growing up, we didn't have a lot of pros that would come back and do anything. So, like, when you would actually have the hot shots come and spend time at your local and,
Yeah.
like, and be cool and be inclusive, like, it's can be life-changing.
Totally. I mean, we're obviously, we're homies with Rob and with Slater and Kalani, all the
Yeah,
all
you
the
don't
stars
realize
that were there.
how nuts it is.
Yeah, and we're used to being around them, but you could see people when Slater walks around. Even it was the best vibe down there. Low key, it's cruisy. It wasn't
That's
like,
awesome.
but yeah, just you watch Slater surf like your break that you surf every day,
And you're like, I'm doing it wrong.
and yeah, you want to change everything. It was super rad, and while I was tired, the whole kind of atmosphere just lifted me up, and I was like, all right, I can talk about surfing for 4 more hours. Raffles and all that shit. So it was a really fun time, and Solento, we absolutely crushed it putting on that festival. Whether people realize it or not, it does help the culture. It helps
Yeah,
with surf culture.
totally.
It helps for people to know that all around the world, people are still making surf movies. They're talking about them. They're living it and breathing it, and it's a really.
Now-
it felt like a pure event. You
Now,
know what I'm saying?
conversely,
Yes.
something that I have a bone, and I need
You have a bone.
a bone to
All
pick.
right. Take
Something
it.
that I believe is helping the surf culture that I feel like I need to talk about.
Okay, go ahead.
There's this company that I get ads from every goddamn day on Facebook.
Okay.
I think they're called Midspin and Malin or something like that, and it's these surf maps to Hawaii, to
Oh, yeah,
California,
I know what you're
and it
talking
has all the surf spots and all this stuff. And look, I don't know who these people are that are doing this. I think they're from like Ireland. They're not from the United States, but they've got these like spokespeople here that are like doing, and they have to be hired models. Like it has to be people they've hired to do this, because you're basically, when you come out with a surf map for all the spots in Hawaii with GPS coordinates and like how to get there, like you're signing like a death warrant for yourself. And it's the craziest thing, and I am so blown away.
Try
And
and put a positive spin on this.
there is no, and don't. You look at the comments that are below these posts on Instagram, on Facebook, right?
Yeah.
It is just hatred. Like, who the hell are? What is
You're
this
a troll.
company? You
You're
guys,
a troll. You're a troll.
you guys are gonna, you're done. You come to Hawaii, you guys are done. Like, it's this crazy.
They're not done.
How is this happening?
I will say though, if you're the type of surfer, or you're buying a gift for a surfer and you buy them a surf map with all the spots, I think the percentage of that person who would buy it or would receive that as a gift, the percentage that they would actually go surf any of those spots is very low.
I'm gonna make a map of Encinitas, but every spot's gonna be stone steps.
It's very low percentage that anyone would go. That, you know, like if you buy a surf map online that was made in Ireland, like you said, you're probably not gonna go surf those spots. Which
I'm just saying. I think it's weird.
look, I was of you and I are both of the generation that even when we did work at surf magazines or skate mags or snow mags or whatever, it wasn't cool to name spots. Now, I did a million trips in Transworld where, you know, we named the spots, we did guides to places, but we were very careful about not doxing secret spots. And I don't even I don't tag the places I serve either, still. And, you know, sometimes I feel weird about it, like if I tag Seaside, is someone really gonna see it and go, oh my god, I'm gonna go there?
Seaside's on the side of the road.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think it matters. There's still secret spots in the world.
I guess.
And one of my favorite parts of the ISA is that now I know people from 51 nations.
That's
so
cool.
I
You should
have access to
You
all
should
the
put
spots.
all their secret spots out there.
No, I'm gonna take their secret spots for
map.
me.
Put them on a map.
You need to stop fingering those stickers.
But look how cool they are. It's shiny.
I know.
I'm like a raccoon.
I know. Well,
So what else do we have in surf news?
So shout out to Dark Arts. That technology not only helped Felipe Toledo and Sharp Eye designed and finishing tech by Dark Arts win the WSL title, but now Dark Arts can add an ISA gold medal to their trophy room.
I really want to
Ruth
get a
Cadella International.
chemistry board and have it done with Dark Arts tech.
You have to work that out through chemistry.
No, I want to get it done. I think you can get that. You can make it happen.
I have contact information for you.
Dark.
That I'll give you off air.
To the Dark Arts.
Yes.
Do you practice the Dark Arts? It's almost
Somebody did
Halloween.
fix a ding on my chemistry epoxy board, and
You didn't do a good job, I heard.
I did not do a great job, and it's not my fault because the epoxy solar res that I got, the top was fused shut,
Oh.
you know, and so I cut it
Oh god.
and squeezed it, and it was in bright sun, and it's just a mess. But it's gonna be fine. I'm gonna sand it. It's gonna
Are
be
you
all
good? So can you do good ding repair?
No.
Like with the cloth and everything?
No.
I feel like that's something that we all should know how to do. Kind of like with snowboarding, like you need to know how to P-tex and wax a board and
P-tex?
sharpen your edges.
I don't know that.
But I just feel like
I can do it if I have the right stuff.
Right. But you
all
know,
my gear was
you know the
whack.
steps. You know how to do. Like
yeah.
the
I mean,
filler.
solar res makes it so easy. I've fixed plenty of things with solar res.
Yeah, but solar res is not permanent. Solar res is very
I
temporary.
mean, I usually put a sticker over the ding
Yeah, but does that work?
most times.
You think?
Once the sticker comes off.
I really think the
Yeah.
sticker works.
Yeah. Oh, we have the ding repair stickers.
What are those
Remember?
called? Ding Doctor?
Ding Zap.
Ding Zap.
Dr. Zap. I did talk to Slater, and I should have recorded it, but I talked to him, I said, did you ever win any of your titles on epoxy boards? Because I felt like that these two titles, recent,
Man,
ISA Gold.
you were really down on conversation.
No, this is pertinent, because I've been saying that these are the first two times that a non-PU board won
okay, I see
titles.
what you're saying.
And Slater said, yes, he had won titles using epoxy boards, but not exclusively. So, I still have a point. It's the first carbon wrapped boards to win titles.
Okay.
If you want to be a part of an event that will change your life, that will give you inspiration for years, the upcoming ISA Parasurfing Championships is December 6th through the 11th in Pismo Beach. You go to isasurf.org. This is where you have surfers, athletes, charging waves, some of which are blind, have, missing limbs, just incredible stories all the way through. So that's happening. And what else we got? Oh,
What?
right. We saw something drop online. Sorry, I'm clearing space so the podcast doesn't stop. That's just what I do. Empty trash.
Go.
Continue. The WSL announced its tour
Yeah,
schedule for
people are-
2023.
People are not happy.
Some people are not quite that happy, are they? Why?
What is,
Why do you
well,
think?
because Surf Ranch is back on, they took out G-Land and replaced G-Land with Surf Ranch.
Yeah.
And I think people are not very happy that a man-made wave in a swimming pool is on the tour listing. And I can understand that.
Do you
The
not?
the purists.
Do you hate Surf Ranch?
I don't hate Surf Ranch at all. I just think, you know, in my personal opinion, surfing is not like skateboard. You know, it's not. I don't
I
know.
think it's the surfer's fault that the Surf Ranch event isn't as fun to watch as it should be. It's the surfer's fault for doing the same thing, not taking risks, but it's also the fault of the WSL for making it equal points to other events, because therefore the surfers are scared to take risks.
I think that they should eliminate the barrel. I honestly think that
Yeah,
event
yeah.
would be way more fun if you weren't like maximizing time in the tube. Like no, like I've
You've seen it once, you've seen it
right.
many
It's
times.
just the same thing from 5 minutes ago to now.
Well,
It's
let's
like,
not get too ahead of ourselves, because
maybe they'll change it.
maybe they'll change it. Maybe there'll be some air sections.
We know a lot of
Maybe-
people from the WSL rely on the Monday M.A.S.S to
Oh
drive
gosh,
their
yeah. Decision
their
making.
agenda and decision making. We know this. It's factual.
It's true. Well, here's your 2023 WSL Championship
Go
Tour
ahead.
schedule.
Go ahead, tell us.
Billabong Pro Pipeline, January 29th. Hurley Pro Sunset Beach. Mayo Rip Curl Portugal Pro. Bells is back. Margaret River. And then the cut. Mid-season cut, 36 men, 18 women, reduced to 24 men, 12 women. Then, in May, we go to Surf Ranch, 2-day event. And then back to El Salvador, which I love because I feel like El Salvador needs another chance to shine. The waves were good there last year. They can be great. So that one's awesome. The Rio Pro is back in Brazil, same spot, Saquarema. J-Bay, and then the Shiseido Tahiti Pro. And then in September, we go back to Trestles for the Rip Curl WSL Finals. I think, I don't know if it's Beach Grade or Stab, but they proposed a question, or they asked Dave Proden, friend of the show, friend of ours, you know, do you see the messages? Do you see what fans are saying? And he said, yes, of course, but at the same time, I'm paraphrasing here, the WSL has had the highest viewership in its history in the past year, so while there are vocal opponents of Surf Ranch and a few of the Rip Curl WSL finals, the bottom line is more people are watching surfing through the WSL than ever. So who's right?
Yeah.
I for one, like when I saw the new schedule, you know, I like new things. I would be stoked if there was, you know, one kind of random wild card spot in there, like G-Land was. G-Land didn't show up last year either. So I think if they tweak a few things, Surf Ranch Pro could be pretty cool.
Well,
You know?
we'll just have to wait and see. It's a little. We got to have a little time.
Yeah.
Chris, before we get done with surf news,
Yeah.
I have a guest
Okay.
that could potentially kind of blend into snow news.
Okay.
So I'm gonna try the guest.
You try the guess.
If the guest answers, that would be amazing. This guest is a little flaky.
Really?
Yeah. He's a little
Wow.
super.
Didn't even give you a chance.
Super flaky.
Who was it? Who was it gonna be?
Brock Crouch.
Rock Crouch. I think he's flaky. He's busy.
He's flaky.
He's a great triple sport athlete.
He is.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the skate news.
Okay, skate news is brought to you by Beneath Apparel, BN3TH Apparel. These are the best underwear for skateboarding, for sure.
Yeah.
Hands down.
You want
Hands
underwear
down.
that not only, we're speaking from the point of view of male.
With
You don't want
testicles
stuff
and-
like just swinging around, and you also need it to be like wicking,
wicked,
because you don't want your grundle to be all like swampy.
No, this is Halloween season. You know, bats are coming in style, but not bat wing.
No,
Not bat wing.
that suit.
Beneath
Anyway,
Apparel, BN3TH Apparel.
that's what we got.
Time Glory Challenge.
Boom.
Period.
Yeah.
How you doing? Talk to you guys next week.
I forgot about this because we did have that week off. You know, there was a lot of talk about Dime Glory Challenge when I was out there for Jackalope Festival a couple weeks ago.
Whoa,
It took place in the same zone around like the what do you call that there? The Olympic Stadium.
thing.
But man, oh man, I was not ready for the Dime Glory Challenge and what we had this year from the sizing up rainbow rail to the volcano of doom
To the bump, wedge to bar. What do you call it?
yeah,
Bump to bar.
but
that
like
kept
giant
growing.
bump to bar. Everything kept growing.
So if you don't know what the Dime Glory Challenge is, even if you don't like skateboarding, you're gonna love this.
It's a spectacle.
It's a spectacle. It's probably the coolest skate contest there is, I would say. I think so. The structure is like this. They have 4 or 5 separate events. A couple of them take place in this arena where you have one of the events, like you said, was a rainbow rail that they would physically move new pieces out. They're dressed like minions too, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So they would move every obstacle would grow, but the way that it was like Transformers or like Legos, they just kept putting. And so by the end of this rainbow rail, the rainbow rail was like 20 feet tall.
And people handled it.
Nicole Hause did it. Elijah Burrell, Pedro Delfino, a bunch of people, or I should say 4 or 5 people, actually handled it, which is crazy.
At its final
highest.
form.
The bump to bar went from a wedge that was about 2 feet off the ground with a 3-foot high bar to about 20 feet
Yeah.
off the ground.
Or you get 15-foot drop off the loading dock style.
Ryan DeCenzo and Chima Ferguson, I would say.
Chima Ferguson backside 3 over crazy.
There
And
was
then
a
the
volcano
volcano.
that kept getting taller and taller until it erupted.
And
And Pedro Barros, I think, was probably.
no, I think it was Grant Taylor.
Grant Taylor got some. Pedro Barros got some. Pedro Delfino was all over the place.
And then there was then they would wheel out this thing onto an airbag where you had to like try to match the position in the air.
Oh,
to
yeah,
go
yeah,
through
yeah.
This thing.
That was cool.
It was just really cool, and I think that the dime shop in Montreal, they have some of the most creative people behind that shop,
Definitely.
and Montreal is such a skate town,
So
and this is just
so sick.
it's so crazy.
Did you
and-
see the stationary wave in Montreal?
No,
You didn't
because
get a
they
chance.
said it was poop soup, and I shouldn't
Oh,
go there.
right, yeah. Then there was a downhill, a rail to downhill, and it was raining, and the skater whose Instagram handle is did a
Soap shoe.
and then
Jump
Rowan did a board slide to hydroplane.
Yeah, cess slide.
Crazy.
It's cool. Check out Dime Glory
Yeah.
Challenge on YouTube.
Seek it out.
Seek it. Nicole Hause is now pro for real skateboards.
I cried watching her pro announcement video.
It's pretty funny. I think women's skating needs a Nicole.
Yeah. When she was very young, she wanted to be Reggie Rocket from Rocket Power. And so her aunt and uncle, the aunt and uncle asked Nicole's mom what she wanted for her birthday when she was like 10 or something. And they said, her mom said, oh, well, she loves Rocket Power. She loves Reggie Rocket, so she got a board. The rest is history. Now she's pro on
Dude,
real.
if there's anyone that can take a slam,
Yes.
I've never seen people slam like I've seen Nicole slam.
Totally.
And she freaking gets back up. She is a machine. She's super stylish.
And very sweet.
Yeah, very big congratulations to her.
Louie Lopez is apparently, or from the skate gossip world,
So
is shooting for Sodi. He just dropped another video. So he's dropped 2 pretty amazing videos, and we're only in September. His recent one is called Louie Lopez Again and Again. I watched the Gifted Hater breakdown of that video, and basically Gifted Hater explained like, okay, this is what he's hearing or he's thinking. That Louie Lopez will have at least 2 more video parts come out before the end of the year and lock himself into the Thrasher Sodi conversation. Lizzie Armanto just dropped Onward. Did you see this part?
Yeah, I watched it.
So this is after Lizzie's near-death experience.
Which they show.
Which
They
show
don't
bits of.
They kind of, but like you see a lot.
Yeah, so she slammed and almost died on Elliot Sloan's Mega. And this was her comeback part, and she is gnarly.
Yeah, she's gnarly.
So Tweestifer and TJ made this video. Tweestifer's follow cam, obviously amazing.
Yeah, Greg's.
But Lizzie Armanto, God, she's gnarly.
Yeah, she's really.
Skating huge cement parks. Another older video from last week, Thrasher Vacation in Germany it's just pure skateboarding at its best.
Our homie Nora just had a shoe drop from Adidas,
Oh, I'm gonna get a pair.
and it's.
I'm in. They look great.
They do look great. Dude, that's like pretty huge. To get a shoe on Adidas is massive.
Yeah.
And I think she's on like a global tour right now to promote the shoe.
Too solid.
She ain't gonna answer. She's like in Europe or some shit.
We try.
She never answered. Let's see. You go ahead. Keep going.
Okay.
I'll try to call.
Oh, you're gonna try calling.
I'll call. She's not gonna answer.
I watched a really fun little piece of journalism by Jenkem. Jenkem is stepping it up a little bit just in terms of what they're putting out on their website. I always love their stuff, but I guess this felt more of like a Vice kind of television show style video, which I really enjoyed.
What time is it in France?
They went, I don't know, they went to skate Nicole Hause's mega sculpture in the desert. You know that thing that came out on Instagram? It was like a giant cement, like
Yeah, what is that?
sculpture. It's art. Anyway, they went and filmed trying to skate it, and it was
Hello,
entertaining
Nora?
and fun.
Oh, for fuck's sake! I hate it when people do that.
She sounds very sweet on her answering machine. Should we say congrats on the shoe?
Yeah, let's say it. Let's wish her congratulations on the shoe.
This is us leaving a message for Nora Vasconcelos.
You got a shoe. Great.
Hey Nora, you got a shoe on
Answer-
Adidas?
Try to answer the phone.
9.5, please.
Yep, whatever.
All colorways, that's fine.
What time is it in France?
Gonna get some shoes. Well, what if I call her
No.
now? In other skate news, Austyn Gillette has some new music
Hey,
out, and
that's-
it's wonderful.
That's crazy talk.
No, it's not.
You don't think so?
What do you mean? Why would it be crazy?
I think that's it's something unexpected because I was
This
going
is like his third album.
on Spotify in like the new independent music, which I have like a list that pops up every
Discover
week.
Weekly.
Discover Weekly. This was on there.
Me too.
I was like, what the Austyn Gillette?
Yeah. I mean, he's got some musical clout. He's almost got a million listens on his song Celebrity.
Wow.
But this is the new album. It's mellow.
Kind of
It's
low,
trippy.
low vibes.
It's
Not
good-
low
it's good
vibes,
vibes.
but what would you call it?
I would say shoegaze indie rock.
Yeah.
It's nice. I like it. Whole new album out. It's called Words We Won't Wear. And I messaged Austyn.
Yeah. What did he say?
I said, new album is really good. Thanks for the jams. He said, well, thanks for that. Really appreciate it and hope you're well. Thank you, Austyn.
Yeah.
And I was trying to say when I was commentating the ISA event that it's okay to DM and give support, which sounds weird to say. If you do it in the right way, it is okay. We're not telling you to go slide into everyone's DMs
No,
and say shit,
but I mean, the worst that can happen is you get put
You
on
get-
ignore.
the worst that happens when if you're doing it the right way is you get a compliment.
Yeah.
You get a compliment.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I think that's awesome. So, there's also a new skate video game out right now.
Oh,
I believe it's called Sessions or something.
yeah. I saw.
It's kind of a sim, kind of like Skate was.
I saw I was watching a video and then the skater just started like levitating down 50 stairs and I thought it was real for a second. Looks pretty sight.
So that's happened now. So yeah, that was skate news.
Yeah. I'm sure there's a lot of other skate news that you can find on the internet. You're not going to find any more here though, that's for sure. Because we're moving on to snow news. Brought to you by Pannikin Coffee and Tea. Snow news. There's no business like snow
I'm
business.
trying to get this stupid freaking guest on.
Your call has been
Fuck! Anyway, snowboard news.
Your guest hates you.
We're getting
Ben Ferguson has a new video out.
we're getting C-blocked in the snowboard news department.
Ben Ferguson has a new video out. It's called Fleeting Time.
He does, and it's wonderful, and it's him.
Wait, you already watched it?
And I know what it's about.
It's-
Him and Red Gerard and his brother and a couple of their other friends are all powdering around everywhere, jumping off of big stuff into powder and making it look real good.
Whistler, BC, Wyoming, Mount Bachelor, Mount Hood.
So that's coming up pretty soon. I think. Actually, no, it's out. No, there's a teaser out right now.
Teaser's out now. Movie premiere starts this week.
Absinthe Films just dropped the third microdose episode of Josh Dirkson's, which is really cool, and I highly recommend everyone go and check out Absinthe Films on Instagram and learn about who Dirkson is. He's one of those people that's kind of like a Tom Curran of snowboarding, where you never mind that they can do all the moves, but it's like what happens in between them doing the moves is really what you need to pay attention to, and really the mark of someone's style. And that's where Josh kind of sits in this world for me. He's super good, and
Yeah.
it's just freaking awesome.
Yes.
So highly recommend that. And
Yes.
I think that's awesome. Actually, the big news that we have, and it's not really any news to anyone that's been following snowboarding, Zoe Sadowski-Sinnott,
Okay.
gold medalist out of New Zealand, probably the best women's slopestyle rider that has ever existed as far as technicality goes.
Okay.
Jossie Wells Invitational in New Zealand happened over the past week or so at the Remarkables, and Zoe actually.
What's the Remarkables?
The Remarkables is a skier.
That's a cool name
outside
for a
of
ski
Wanaka.
area.
It's outside of Wanaka.
South Island?
South Island, Remax. Anyway, Zoe put on a clinic. Giant backside 1260s, giant switch backside
How many is
1260s.
1260?
It's a lot, Chris. It's 3.5.
Okay.
It's a 3.5.
That's more than a 540.
But just
You can
she
keep it
does
up.
it with style, and it's controlled spins.
Tight.
And this is just one more piece of her just trick arsenal. I'm a massive fan of Zoe, and I think that yeah, she's a freaking goat.
Hell yeah.
Goat
So
in the making.
I love it. And I got some news from our embedded reporter in Whistler, John Veeder, says not a question. Well, this was
What?
for the question block, but premiere season kicked off last night in Whistler with the Man Boys' newest snow porn.
That's right. I was
titled
just gonna
Plank.
say that too. Plank.
I got a review. It was per usual, an amazing night, getting stoked for the season ahead of, and reconnecting with the sideways standing locals in one venue after years of pandemic lockdowns and all that shit. Snowboarding's back. Also,
It
a
dropped today. 3 hours ago, it dropped on YouTube.
you can watch it
The
on.
Man Boys. Plank.
On October 1st, travelers entering Canada will no longer be required to wear masks, show proof of vaccination, or use the Arrive can. So basically,
Oh, so it's open just back to norms.
yeah, I think so. Back to
October 1st, going into Canada from the United States, back to Normsville. Also, back to Normsville, going to Japan as well. So for those of you that are booking your holidays to go to Japan as snow tourists, and I highly recommend that you do that at some point in your life if you have the means and you want to go ride POW and experience a culture that is wonderful, you're going to be able to do that once again, because Japan has had one of the craziest lockdowns of any country, and they're going to open it back up to tourism. Thank
I
God.
love Japan. What else we got for snow news?
That's it.
Okay, I'm actually gonna be a dedicated snowboarder this season.
No, you're not.
I'm
Okay,
gonna go
so
at least twice.
and it is, it is beginning to have snow dustings
It's
on
beginning to look
the hills.
a lot like Christmas.
I mean, it is pretty much.
If you're looking for something to do,
What are you gonna be
before
for Halloween? What are you gonna be for Halloween?
Man, I got so many ideas.
Nerd News is brought to you by
By Halloween.
New Greens. New Greens is for nerds. What are you gonna be for Halloween?
That's a secret.
You know what I'm gonna be. I spent money on it.
I have a couple of ideas. One of those is I was thinking of attempting to make a bootleg, shitty Mandalorian costume.
And you can just walk around with me.
I wouldn't. Well, it wouldn't match. It would be in line with my shitty homemade Tron outfit, which
That
is one of my
your
favorite.
shitty homemade
costumes.
Tron was actually really good.
See, that's why I think like a shitty homemade Mando outfit. The helmet would be the only. Well, I guess I get good. Okay, you know what?
Why?
Stay tuned on that one. Stay tuned on that
I
one.
am going to be Boba Fett again,
Okay.
and for the rest of my life.
Okay.
I have a couple new pieces to the costume
Sweet.
that only real nerds will see,
Okay.
that I've added to it.
Okay.
I'm going to walk around again in the neighborhoods, and we'll be talking about this through the entire month of October.
Sounds great.
But that's what I'm going to be. So, Chris, there's some big news. Some big news in nerdom.
Big nerd news.
Big nerd news. Number one, Lord of the Rings show, not that fucking good, dude.
I lost interest after the second episode. It didn't grab me. It didn't capture me. I think I put a lot of pressure on it, like it was going to be Game of Thrones level radness, and it was boring.
It's fucking boring. All
Sorry.
they do is talk.
They just walk and talk.
Yeah.
And a lot of times they're not even walking. They're just talking.
And they're always like that's
I
how
want
they
to see orcs.
I know. I want to see orcs. I want Sauron to show up. I want to have like trolls, but all they're doing is going and they're talking about Numenor and all these like weird like
There was a boat that went into like a light.
boat light.
I don't know.
Anyways, so you and I have the same opinion about the new Lord of the Rings show.
Yeah.
Now,
I'm not saying to say it's a waste of time, but I'm just gonna say it's not that good.
the dragon show,
Ooh,
House of Dragons, is 2 thumbs way up.
Love that
It's just
incest.
getting better and better, and it's
Spoiler alert, there's incest.
there's
It's coming if you haven't seen it yet.
incesty.
Oh, get it?
So it has a lot of the things that I like:
Incest.
dragons, incest, rape.
Whoa!
You know, I mean, well, you know, it's a fantasy show.
That's not a good fantasy.
Well,
Take it
I
back.
blame George R.R. Martin. Anyway, so House of Dragons is filling my Game of Thrones hole. What? Okay, I'm sorry.
We'll edit that whole thing out.
Also-
don't worry about it. That's gone. Nobody will ever hear that.
Chris, you need to
Wait,
watch.
I want to talk about Game of Thrones.
You do? How are you going to top what I just said?
I'm not. It's really entertaining. It's a great show. It's
Not for the kids.
It's definitely not for kids. It's really brutal. It's sexually charged. I would like to see more dragons in action.
Right?
But there's some great sword fighting, a lot of blood, a lot of ground and pound.
Yeah, it's some ground and pound. Chris,
Yeah.
I highly recommend that everyone, and including yourself, watch Andor.
What if you made a shirt that said, I
highly
came for the dragons, I stayed for the incest. DieCutStickers.com, you're getting an email.
And it'd just be, listen to Monday M.A.S.S. I came for the dragons, I stayed for the incest. Listen,
Andor.
Andor is incredible. It is the seedy, dark,
Yes.
seedy and dark take on Star Wars that
Rogue One.
but even like more dismal. So here's what I have to say to you. You haven't watched it.
I haven't. I'm saving it. My kids are coming home today.
It's bleak. It's very bleak.
Bleak.
And it's one of these shows that, okay, so Star Wars, the universe, Baby Yoda's, Jar Jar's, Sith, Jedi, Luke
Yeah.
Skywalker, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Darth
Yeah.
Vader.
Heard of them.
Andor, I don't know how any of these characters are even coexisting in this
When is it?
bleak ass. It's 5 years before the first Death Star blows up.
Okay.
It's like
1997.
it's like the Empire is putting the clamps on all the systems. Everyone's living in poverty. It's just shitty.
Mhm.
It's an oppressive force.
It's 2022.
Yeah, it's this year. But at any rate, I'm like I got done watching the first, because it dropped the first 3 episodes
Right.
of Andor, and I got done watching that, and my first question to myself was, how do I even like put that in my head that Baby Yoda exists in this universe? Because like Lucasfilm always wants to tie in what they call their legacy characters, like Luke and Darth Vader and
Yoda.
Obi-Wan and Yoda. How the fuck are they gonna do that in this? Because it's so dark. Like, you would have to be like, the Emperor on his worst fucking day would fit into this
Okay.
zone. It's really, really depressing.
Where does this live in the timeline of Mandalorian?
Oh, look, we have a FaceTime call from Brock Crouch. Hold on, should we just take this?
Yeah.
Brock Crouch,
Brock
ladies and
Crouch,
gentlemen,
ladies
on the
and
Monday M.A.S.S.
What's up?
Hi. Have you watched Andor yet? New Star Wars? No. Are you down? Are you
he's,
down?
He's a grown-up, Todd. He doesn't like that crap you like.
You don't like that crap?
Hi, Brock. Welcome to the podcast.
You're a little late for snowboard news, but I'm gonna pick your brain here. So, Brock, you just got back from where? Where were you? Were you in New Zealand?
Yeah, I was just in New Zealand.
And how was it there? You came back from a surf trip to Mentwise and then went straight to New Zealand. Tell me all about it.
Jamaica.
Where were you?
Yeah, I just got back from a dream run, kind of. Actually, we were just down in Chile for day one for Jake. That's where Jake always wanted to go and start his season. So a bunch of us went down there. Me, Danny, Mark, and George, and a couple of Jake's close friends. And then we buzzed over to Indo for 3 days. Got some boards at Uluwatu's, and then Coco was like, "Yeah, there's kind of a bump and swell coming to HT, so you gotta get up there." And so then Spark asked me if I wanted to go to the Mints, and we just pinned it up there, and then kind of scored like full roll-ins at the Mints, and Lance's ride was just all time, and then
Damn.
just went to New Zealand for 2 weeks, and got to ride some park. I haven't rode in like 2 months, kind of missed out on the summer shred. I was just doing some PT and chilling down here, so it was a pretty nuts few weeks there.
This man is living a good life.
Yeah, you're kind of living the dream, dude. I don't know if you realize that, but you literally are living the dream, and you should stop and just look at yourself in the mirror and go, "These are the best days of my life."
We're
Right
killing
now.
it right now.
Seriously, it was unbelievable. But the trip to the Mints, there was no boats around. It was pretty much dreams of all dreams. So that was definitely a nuts few weeks just hanging out with all the snowboard homies again in New Zealand. It was so rad. The sport's going in a crazy direction, but gonna try and keep up with it. That's for sure.
What do you have coming out? Do you have some video parts dropping soon? What do people have to look forward to from Brock Crouch?
I have a few clips in Ben's movie, but on the 8th at Oklahoma, there has been Ferguson's movie. It's a 2-year project. I've actually seen some clips from it, and it's a good one. So that's something to look forward to. And then in the next few weeks, myself and Danny and Mark and all the boys up in Canada and Dee have a film coming out. Kind of Danny's project. He just put it together, but that's coming out in a few weeks, and that was super fun. Got to go to Alaska with those guys and do some really fun trips. They kind of took me under my wing right after I didn't make the Olympics, and just filmed for like 4 months last year. So
Hell yes.
it's gonna be a good one for sure.
Sick. Well, we are always wanting more of Brock Crouch. That's how we live our lives. We just want more Brock Crouch. We want to be able to cheer for the local homies. Are you gonna do comps this year? Are you gonna be into the big airs and the slope styles and the whatnots?
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna next few weeks go over to Sauce Bay and flip my carcass and try to learn some new tricks, and then do the big air and copper, and then gotta do the Mammoth Grand Prix to stay on the U.S. team, and then hopefully do a tour, maybe if there's an exit invite.
There better be.
And then also try this big movie because we're so damn special. The backcountry is definitely really fun to dip the toes into.
Alright.
Hopefully natural selection if there's an invite there.
Ooh, that's
Who knows?
Travis Rice is a big listener of Monday M.A.S.S, so you may have just secured your invite
Yeah,
right there.
that probably did it. Yeah, Brock, you roll.
Well, thanks for calling us, Brock. We're gonna slide you.
Sorry, I was all scrambled this morning. I was just first morning home.
Yeah.
Got back last night. Got some waves. The water's still warm, so it's full on here in SoCal.
Right on, man. All right, Brock. Well, thanks, Broccoli.
Love to hear it.
We'll talk to you soon. Later, buddy. See ya.
Later, boys.
that was a good little snow catch up after Nerd News.
I freaking love Brock.
Brock's the best.
Dude,
Living the dream.
so you know what we need to do? And you might have, can you take that and put that in the snow?
I don't know. I just looked on the screen and it had stopped recording at some point.
What? What?
There's I'm gonna need to fill some holes.
What? What stuff recording? The whole
podcast.
Really?
Yeah, but I'm gonna work on it. I'm gonna edit that whole thing.
Wow.
I'm not admitting that there was a mistake. I'll fix it.
Anyway.
You want to talk about some questions?
Yeah, let's do questions.
Questions. Okay. Danny Caputo's got a question. Monday M.A.S.S.
Okay.
Do you ever surf right after you get off a plane, like straight to the beach? I have. It's really hard.
Yeah, it's rough. I've done that a couple times too, and you surf like shit.
Plain legs are the
And
worst.
you're slippery.
Not the worst, but plain legs are really sucky because your legs feel twice as heavy.
And you have slippery feet.
I think skating is probably harder than surfing after a plane. Straight to the plane, straight to the spot is tough. But that's a great question. So, yes, we've all tried it. Have we been successful?
Hell no. No, we haven't been.
All right. Adam Merriman wants to know, Monday M.A.S.S question, what Star Wars character would you like to see in the live action shows or even have a series of their own? So, what animated Star Wars character?
Animated? Did you say animated?
Well,
Or just...
it just says, what Star Wars character would you like to see in a live action show or have a series on their own?
Bosk.
Who's Bosk?
Exactly. Who's the Bosk?
Who's Bosk?
He's the lizard guy with the long arms.
Oh. I would like, what's the little rat that hung out with,
Salacious Crumb?
yeah. I would like to see him have his own show. You know what is in the Star Wars universe, which always like drives my wife Carolyn crazy, is the characters with the long skin flaps
the
off their heads.
Tendrils? Those
Yeah.
are Twi'leks.
Yeah, she does not like those.
Hey, so check this
those
out. So
I
this
think
is
those would be kinda
this
fun.
goes back to what we're talking about in Nerd News. So this Andor
Yeah.
finally there's sex in Star Wars.
Good.
No, but like it's been like an ambiguous thing. But now
Okay.
it's like it's so adult. It's
Human?
it's so it's human on
Human sex.
Yeah, human
It's
sex.
on the Disney Channel.
Right.
So my kids still watch it? Are we gonna watch
No, they don't show full like
Chewbacca's dick?
just like a red rocket.
We finally get to see Chewbacca's dong. Great question.
Would that be would you have to give it like a PG-13? Chewbacca just have like a red rocket?
They
Is
don't.
that
They don't
NC-17?
rate the Animal Planet channel, so
They don't.
no.
They don't really show dog dong on the Animal Planet though, do they?
Not that I remember, but maybe I gotta watch closer.
Wow.
DC Carter,
What's he
what's
say?
up, DC? Wants to know what happened to Chris's fingernails. He zoomed in on a picture I posted myself.
What's wrong with your fingernails?
They're gone. Well, I chew
You bite them off? Do you really?
Yeah.
Dude, that's how you get fucking bacterial infections.
I know, but guess what? I know when to hold them and when to chew them.
Do you chew your toenails too?
No, I use a knife
To do what?
to trim my toenails.
Oh, a knife? Dude,
Yeah.
my dad had like that crazy fungus that you get. Like, you know how people get like the yellow
Did
toenails?
you use the razor blade?
No, he used a fucking wire clippers to clip his toenails. It was so fucked up. It was like traumatizing as a kid.
It seems like dads used to have to do that stuff. I don't like my
Wire?
toes are. I think it was maybe something with the shoes or the work shoes or the boots in the 70s and 80s where all dads just had tweaked ass
Fucked up
toes. My toes are super normal. Old nerdy bastard wants to know: did you guys not do a podcast that last week?
Yes,
we did
we
not. We did not
We
do
didn't.
one.
We didn't have one.
Didn't happen. Deborah Crane wants to know: ketchup or salsa?
Ooh, salsa.
Salsa. I like ketchup, but I don't need it.
It's okay.
I don't.
They put
Oftentimes, I eat a whole thing of fries with no ketchup.
they put ketchup on tacos in Sweden.
That's not
It's fucking
right.
disgusting.
So I would say we both leaning towards salsa. That's a great question.
It's so good.
What else we got here? Got a couple more questions.
Chris, what's the
that I have to
biggest
load.
jeans you ever wore back in the day?
I wore some tea bags that were huge.
Like just like cover your feet.
Yeah, just like couldn't see my shoes.
So you know that that's bad, right?
Yeah, big boys, polar big boys. That's
They're-
what all the kids are wearing.
they're
Giant cords.
They cover your feet.
Yeah, giant corduroy
It's
pants
really-
and giant jeans.
It's really weird.
It's fine. It's fashion.
It's fine.
All right. Yeah, we've got a growling
Yeah.
dog under our desk. California Mud Motors is back with a great Would You Rather. Would you rather get to watch yearly the Dime Challenge, but you can't skate? Or you get to watch the WSL Finals, but you can't surf?
Huh?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Like you have to choose one to watch?
Yeah.
Dying challenge?
Shouts out to Dime for putting 1,000 more interesting event than the WSL Finals. Okay, I see what the California Mud Motors are saying. Which one would you rather watch? The Dime Challenge, natural selection, rip rides, etc. for surf, skate, and snow. When will surfing figure out something that is equally interesting and not meth water pro in the wave pool? So California Mud Motors, even though he lives next door to the surf ranch, is not a fan and wondering what is the equivalent. I would say he's wondering what the equivalent to the Dime Glory Challenge or to the,
Kind of like a stabby.
I'd say Stab High is close. Stab Highway was a really enjoyable watch.
That's more like Thrasher, King of the Road. But I think
Yeah.
like Dime Challenge is kind of like,
like
the,
one-off event.
well, when they had Stab High in the wave pool, and they had all like the bomb drop challenge and the you know
Yeah.
backside burial,
I
like the
kinda- I
burial
mean,
challenge, like
look,
that's
Stab High right now is at Lakey Peak, which is going to be interesting to watch because it's a natural wave pool,
you know,
basically.
and people are going
They're
bonkers.
going bananas.
Any more questions?
Mark King says, Andor, fucking awesome or fucking awesome?
Fucking awesome.
I can't wait to watch it. Nick Thoman says, I had an insane dream with Chris in it the other night
Ooh.
and wanted to know if he was there on purpose or did we just happen to link up. I'd like to know where I was in this dream,
You mean like on
what I was doing,
Oh.
what I was wearing, who I was with. More information, Nick. I need to know. I do like to hear about what people dream about me.
You do?
Unlike that Built to Spill lyric where it says, no one wants to hear what you dreamt about unless you dreamt about them.
What?
You remember that lyric?
No.
It's one of the best Built to Spill
Can
songs
you whine it for me?
No one wants to hear
Okay. Now I'm
what
confused.
you dreamt about. DJ.
Dude, your dog is on a growl fest.
Hey, Chris and Todd, what would you do for a career if you couldn't be in surf media or snowboarding? What line of work do you think you would have liked to do?
Obviously, based on what I've been doing around my house,
Base jumper.
I would be an appliance repair technician.
You would be an appliance repair technician.
I'm really good at it, Chris. I'm super good at repairing appliances.
Really?
Yeah, I'm like really good at it.
Yeah, that they can actually make a good living. I got a guy around here named Alex's Appliances that I.
And he's good?
Yeah, he's good. What job would I have? I mean, it's probably gonna sound cliche, but real estate. My whole family does it. Everyone in Encinitas does it. I can see myself potentially doing it. Not right
But
now.
is it? I mean, it
but-
just seems like these days, like the real estate market is so cutthroat because, like you said, like everyone is a freaking real estate agent, and then it's like, are you like the wacky real estate
Well,
agent?
everyone
Like,
I
how
know
do
is
you-
really good at it too. But,
Yeah.
but I guess you need, yeah. I mean, that's just kind of an obvious one. If I were to be my dream job that wasn't having to do with surfing, I'd say novelist.
Oh yeah.
To write a novel, a couple novels.
How did you? Where are you now with your story that you
I'm
were
stalled in my current novel, but I'm gonna get back at it. Like making a script writing novel.
What about like a book on
writing
tape?
novel, audiobooking?
Just audiobook it.
That's a great question. I like that question. Thank you for that one.
Is that
What else we
everything?
got?
One more. We have time for one more.
Big Bad Blake Wolf says, O-side pier, north side or south side? What's your favorite side to surf?
Ooh, north side.
South
Audi.
side, bro.
What?
Come on. You like the pier bowl right that
I like
goes
the right
into
into the pier. Yeah.
I like the left and right peak. I haven't surfed Oceanside Pier 5 years.
Yeah, at least 5
A
years.
long time. It's a great wave. I used to go there all the time to try to get photos and videos because it's really consistent. But that was a great question. I appreciated that one.
Is that it?
Let me
I get
see
shit to
one
do,
more check.
dude.
It's only one.
I know, but like, I had only had you scheduled for 1 hour.
Oh, you only had me scheduled for an hour. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got. Unless this is a question.
What is it?
And that's a picture of Kelly Slater.
Well, Chris, I'm
Yeah,
glad,
another
I'm glad that
picture
you're
of
back.
Kelly Slater. Thanks, it's great to be
I'm glad
back.
that we can take part in this again.
I'm gonna go ahead and see what happened on this podcast.
Well,
and try to fix
worst
it up.
case scenario is they can just watch the video.
Hopefully that works.
Do you seriously we lost a big chunk of it?
Oh, we'll see off air.
Oh my
Thanks for
God.
listening to this actual
We are
podcast about
Fucking
nothing.
horrible at this.
I know, but that's the charm of it.
Goodbye.
Hi.